Even people who've earned millions have lost it all. Think of Mike Tyson, over $300 million in earnings, yet he filed for bankruptcy. That kind of financial collapse doesn't come from lack of income, but from a weak money mindset. When someone hasn't reprogrammed their mind for wealth, it doesn't matter how much flows in, it'll eventually flow out. This isn't about being irresponsible. It's about having subconscious money blocks that silently sabotage long-term wealth. Most folks think that once they make enough, their problems will disappear, but money beliefs run deep. If someone grew up believing money is dangerous or corrupting, their behavior will align with those scripts. They'll overspend, undersave, avoid investing because deep down their financial psychology resists abundance. Rich versus poor mindset isn't just about dollars. It's about patterns, habits, and emotional wiring around money. Millionaire habits aren't flashy. They're rooted in intention. It's knowing how to manage before you multiply. That's why some lottery winners go broke in 2 years, while modest earners retire wealthy. The real battle is internal. Financial freedom mindset starts with awareness, not accumulation. The scarcity versus abundance mindset determines whether someone builds a life of stability or one that crumbles under the weight of unmanaged choices. And that takes us right into something even deeper. Most people don't even realize how much their money mindset controls their life. They'll say things like, "Money's the root of all evil," and then wonder why they're always broke. That belief, even if said jokingly, embeds itself deep in the subconscious. Over time, it creates subconscious money blocks that reject wealth before it even arrives. And the scariest part? This happens silently. No alarms, no warnings, just self-sabotage in disguise. It's not about loving money, it's about respecting it. Seeing money as morally neutral is a shift in financial psychology that changes everything. Money isn't good or bad. It's a tool. A hammer can build a house or break a window. It depends on who's holding it. When people start seeing money as a form of stored value, not a source of shame, they unlock a new wealth mindset. Suddenly, opportunities don't feel threatening, they feel empowering. This is where the financial freedom mindset really kicks in. It's not about becoming obsessed with getting rich, it's about removing guilt from wanting more. Scarcity says, if I have more, someone else has less. Abundance says, there's more than enough for everyone who creates value. That shift isn't just motivational fluff. It rewires behavior. It makes someone stop asking, how can I save pennies? And start asking, how can I produce dollars? Which leads right into one of the most overlooked but powerful frameworks for building wealth. Here's a hard truth. Most people don't have an income problem, they have a consumption problem. They make decent money, but their desire to spend grows even faster. New phone, new car, new shoes, and they justify it by saying, I deserve this. The issue? That mindset destroys financial growth. When someone's constantly chasing lifestyle upgrades, they fall deeper into the trap of scarcity, thinking money needs to be spent as fast as it's earned. The real wealth mindset kicks in when someone shifts from being a consumer to a producer. Ask any successful entrepreneur, and they'll tell you they spend more time thinking about how to create value than how to spend money. That's the key difference. The poor mindset focuses on what money can buy. The rich mindset focuses on what money can build. And when production consistently outpaces consumption, that's when financial momentum starts to explode. Think of someone who makes content online, say a YouTube channel or an online course. They're producing once, but earning over and over. That's scalable production. Meanwhile, others are stuck in the loop of working more just to spend more. It's not about shaming consumption. It's about understanding how much of it is driven by emotional impulses instead of strategic choices. And when that pattern goes unchecked, it leads straight to a situation that's way more common than most people realize. It might surprise people, but even high earners often live paycheck to paycheck. Six-figure salaries, luxury condos, imported cars, and still zero savings at the end of the month. That's not a money issue, that's a money mindset issue. Their financial psychology hasn't evolved with their income. They're operating on outdated money beliefs that tie self-worth to spending, not security. And they stay stuck in a cycle that feels impossible to break. There's a myth that only low-income earners struggle financially. But numbers don't lie. Many people making over $150,000 annually still feel financially squeezed. Why? Because lifestyle inflation eats everything. A raise just becomes an excuse for more consumption. And without a solid financial freedom mindset, that person is just a higher-paid version of their broke self. True wealth isn't about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep, grow, and control. Breaking out of the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle requires awareness and intentionality. It's about recognizing that the scarcity versus abundance mindset isn't about bank balances, it's about patterns. Someone can reprogram their mind for wealth even while earning modestly, by flipping the script from reactive spending to strategic planning. But the real trap isn't just the cycle, it's the emotional treadmill that comes with it. And that treadmill is better known as the rat race. People think the rat race is just about the 9-to-5 grind, but that's not quite it. The real rat race is living in a constant state of financial stress, working not just for income, but for survival. It's waking up with bills on your back, spending money to numb stress, and hoping the next paycheck arrives before the credit card is maxed. It's emotional, exhausting, and it traps people, even those with decent jobs or titles. This cycle creates a distorted wealth mindset. People chase promotions, titles, or side hustles, not for growth, but just to keep up with their bills. And when they finally catch a break, the relief is temporary. Why? Because they never fixed the root, their consumption behavior and subconscious money blocks. They're stuck in a loop: earn, spend, repeat, without ever creating true financial breathing room. Escaping this cycle isn't just about making more money, it's about redesigning life from the inside out. It starts by challenging the rich versus poor mindset we've been taught. It's not about grinding harder, it's about playing a smarter game, one where financial decisions align with long-term goals, not short-term relief. And the first step to stepping off this hamster wheel? Gaining awareness of where the money is really going. You can't change what you don't track. Most people avoid looking at their finances because they're afraid of what they'll find. But awareness is power. When someone starts journaling their expenses and building a budget, they begin to take control of their story. Suddenly, the fog lifts. They see where their money is leaking and, more importantly, why. That's not just budgeting, it's financial therapy. This isn't about obsessing over every dollar. It's about reconnecting with spending habits that have been running on autopilot. Someone might realize they've spent $400 a month on food delivery, and they weren't even enjoying half the meals. That's a wake-up call. That awareness is what starts shifting a scarcity mindset into a wealth mindset. It brings clarity, and with clarity comes better choices. Practical tip: use tools like Anab. You need a budget, Notion templates, or even old-school pen and paper. And don't just log numbers, log emotions. What triggered that impulse buy? What was the mood behind the splurge? This is how you reprogram your mind for wealth. Because journaling doesn't just track spending, it tracks thinking. And that's what really needs rewiring. Next step: building protection so you're not just managing the present, but safeguarding the future. Most people only think about emergency funds after the emergency hits. But that's like buying a fire extinguisher during the fire. Having cash set aside for the unexpected isn't just smart. It's foundational to a true financial freedom mindset. And yet, so many avoid it. Why? Because of deep-seated cognitive biases that trick the brain into thinking, that won't happen to me. Spoiler alert, it always does. Take the ostrich effect, the tendency to ignore unpleasant information. People bury their heads when it comes to finances, hoping problems disappear. Or social proof, seeing others live lavishly and assuming that's the norm. These biases fuel bad financial decisions, especially when paired with a scarcity mindset. Suddenly, saving feels unnecessary and spending feels justified, until the car breaks down, the job's lost, or a medical bill lands on the table. Building an emergency fund, say 3 to 6 months of expenses, isn't just about survival. It's about peace of mind. It's a buffer that lets someone breathe, think, and respond instead of reacting in panic. That calm is what separates the rich versus poor mindset during crisis. It gives space to strategize, not scramble. But here's the twist. Saving alone isn't enough to build wealth. So what are the wealthy doing differently? It's not just about cutting costs, it's about building leverage. Frugality gets romanticized a lot. Skipping lattes, extreme couponing, cutting Netflix. It's all treated like the holy grail of wealth. But let's be real. No one saves their way to millionaire status. Sure, frugality can stop financial bleeding, but it won't build the muscle. And communities like FIRE, financial independence, retire early, sometimes push the idea that radical saving is the only road to freedom. It's not. Wealthy people don't just shrink their lifestyle, they scale their income. They play offense, not just defense. They understand that while budgeting is wise, building is powerful. The financial psychology here is simple. The rich don't fear spending, they focus on earning smarter. They use the abundance mindset to ask, how can I create more value? Not what else can I cut? It's a different game altogether. Take a look at influencers, creators, business owners. They're not clipping coupons. They're building digital assets. They've reprogrammed their mind for wealth by seeing income as something they can expand, not something limited by time. That shift is what separates comfortable from exponential. Because while frugality can create breathing room, scalable production is what creates freedom. And that's where the next layer of transformation begins. If someone truly wants to escape the rat race, they have to stop trading time for money. That's where entrepreneurship changes everything. It allows people to produce at scale, create once, earn repeatedly. Whether it's launching a digital product, running a service-based business, or building a YouTube channel, scalable production is the engine behind the wealth mindset. It's how people stop chasing paychecks and start attracting profits. The beauty of this shift is that it doesn't require millions in startup capital. In today's world, a laptop and an idea are enough to get moving. People are building income streams through ebooks, courses, software, content, even community-based subscriptions. That's not fantasy. It's modern reality. The difference? They stopped asking, how much can I save? And started asking, how can I serve the market better? That's the abundance mindset in motion. But it's not just about working harder, it's about knowing who you are in the money equation. The most successful people understand themselves both as producers and consumers. They know how to monetize their strengths while keeping spending in check. That dual awareness creates balance. And that balance is the secret sauce. Because when someone masters both sides of the financial equation, something powerful happens next. Now that you've seen what school never taught you, the question is, what are you going to do with it? Because knowing the difference between consuming and producing, understanding your money mindset, recognizing subconscious blocks, that's just the beginning. Real change starts when you apply it. When you track your spending, question your beliefs, build emergency funds, and start creating value instead of chasing validation. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop surviving and start building? Are you willing to reprogram your mind for wealth, challenge everything you were taught about money, and finally design a life that you control? Drop a comment. What's the one habit you're changing starting today? I want to hear it. And hey, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next money breakthrough. Also, share this video with someone you care about. A friend, a sibling, a coworker, anyone stuck in the same system. Let's help more people escape the rat race and step into financial freedom together.